Okay, good morning everybody. It's bright and early Monday morning. Unloading some lumber off the truck. We are going to form this turnaround and driveway on this new house. Now this is a big slope coming down to the driveway. So we had talked about putting a curb on the inside to help keep everything back from rushing down across the driveway and hitting the house, as well as when they pull in and make this turn, the builder was worried they could possibly drop off that edge, so a curb could help them in two different ways there. So we'll go ahead and get some stuff on the ground, get a camera set up, and get busy. Just got here. We'll nose him right around, get started pouring. There's two driveway pads. The guys are pouring the porch without me. I'm going to try and put this other side of the driveway on, get connected there, and maybe we can get this section poured today. Okay, so we're working on this front porch, of course. So we need to attach this board to this stone without damaging this stone. So doing that, we use wire tie and screws. Go drop this down. So we ran some 3-inch screws into our plate. All the way down. So I cut them twice as what I need. Fold them in half. And you want a real tight wrap around that screw and then twist. You cannot have these come off in the pour. I always twist clockwise. Screw gun, Jim. And it's important to know that for this reason right here. Send it. Well, fortunately you can see the twist, but you can't always do that when you sink it into the foam. So I'll do ends, middle, and ends. I'll get that set up and I'll take you to the next step. But it has to be a nice tight twist on there. Okay, now when we attach it, we'll put a block in here to hold us away. And you can see how the stone hurts us, but it also helps us. So I set it even with my concrete pipe, and I mark my stone that's sticking out.
You liking that, or do you want it here?
Now if I cut that out, create a ledge here, now I can hook it right on top of that stone and hold it in place. So I took my power saw, made this notch. Now my board is nice and plumb. take out a little bit more. Needs to be right about there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time and just get just a little bit deeper. Okay, so I made my notch. I cut that off. It was hitting that bottom stone. Now we're nice and plumb, sitting on there. So I take my quick square, run it up the trim, set at the bottom.
Which way?
Top of concrete. And here comes our stone. So I'll screw this on, put it on there, good to go. Okay, so I made my notch sitting on the stone. Steve will pick that end up, setting it on the stone. So now I am to the right height. I just need to screw this end together. You're on the stone, right? Showing the mortar?
Yeah.
Stone showing the mortar, same way. We want that to match from side to side. Let me get this marked for height. We'll go back to the ground one more time. Ready?
Yep.
Screw it down. Yeah. Flip that over. Poke some holes in it. Let's just double check it real quick. Now that sill is going to set right on there. Can you check it with the level? I think it looks pretty good.
Wasting time.
Yeah, nice. Wasting time. So now with it in place, we want these wires to come straight out. Center of the board.
Already marked these inside of the cut now.
Straight out, right there. You're good on this side?
Yep.
All right. You can drill a hole or just pound a nail through it. It is really hard.
I use the cut now, so I gotta go back out when I flip it.
Go ahead. And lastly, right beside your hole out here, find a nail in right beside. It's about an inch away. Now you can put it up and fish your wire right through that hole. Okay, so I'm on my ledge. You got to pull that wire nice and tight, wrapping it around your nail. If it's not tight, it's not going to work. Bend that nail over. And then last step, take an 8-penny nail. And this is where you had to remember which way you twist it. I always go clockwise. I'll bring the camera closer for you. Just insert it between the two pieces of wire. Give it a twist. And that'll tighten that up. Steve, can you give that a twist for me? I can't hold the camera and do it at the same time. You gotta move your hand. Right like that. Good. Okay, so that's nice and tight. That sill is not moving. We didn't hurt the stone at all. We didn't have to nail into this with a cleat. Steve's doing the center. Now be careful doing the center. You want that straight. If you do it too tight, you'll actually bow that in. So Steve will take a good close look at that. I'm going to go grade the driveway. Okay, cranberry supply right on time. Got it. The barn gate, it really saves the tailgates flipping them out of the way rather than dumping under them. Okay. The tricky thing about this turnaround is we have to start pouring out to here. The mixers won't make our turn around here if we have that driveway prepped. Just watching up top, we don't want to hit that gutter. Plenty of room. Perfect. Okay, first truck's getting in position. It's a little bit noisy over there. We're gonna pour 2 pads, and we're probably gonna come up short. So we'll have we have a second truck coming to finish the second pad, and we'll get the third one poured. Okay, here we go. Well, I called that. We're about 5 wheelbarrows short. No problem. The other truck is due any minute. So we're going to finish pouring that and pour one more section. Hopefully it gets here 5 or 10 minutes. After the guys rub it up, Matt will open up our joiner so that when we broom it, that'll shine up real nice and straight. Concrete's due any second. I wish he would have been here. It's still pretty soft, but getting tight. We're gonna put some real tight concrete on here. We only need a little bit. That's why I raked it back to this joint. So hopefully it gets here any minute, real soon. Okay, so we only had to pour about an inch on top of this, and you saw me moving the concrete. The under concrete was tight, but it wasn't hard. So this, we mixed into that. Now we have an inch and a half of topping on top of there. It'll all be bonded together. This is all poured. That went good. We used every rock out of that truck. I'll tell you, I'm really cutting it way too close. So I dug that edge back all the way up to my tool cut. So now that's all new concrete up to there. You won't see any difference in the broom mark. And that's what we want. We want this all to look even. So we'll go ahead and get our cuts in here. I'd like to get the 2 porches poured today and this ready. So we still have a lot to do. Okay, they're just putting the final touches on number 2, number 3 pad, number 2 truck. This is all done. I just went out on knee boards and hit that while they were brooming it. Took care of that. Now that'll blend all the same shade. Broom marks are identical. We have a 2-foot reveal, or not reveal, offset on that house. So we put a cut off of that to help relieve cracking. We don't want anything getting pinched in there and cracking. So while they're finishing that up, getting ready for these porches. They're grinding stumps around back. It's quite noisy. So Stan's just cutting our chairs to put underneath our rebar grid. We're pinned into the house. Sills on. And right here, we turn our backs for a second. Somebody steps on the sill and knocks it all crooked. Not a big deal. We just make sure we pick that up and straighten that out. We're all pinned in. I'm going to get some stone going right here. Looks good, gentlemen. So we did wire tie on the sill, same way over there. It works out really well. Make sure they're tight around the screws and then twist it tight. Steve's just brooming up the face. Now tomorrow, we'll just hit this with a grinder and we'll just chase those down just a little bit. Same on the front door sill as well. Let me go back over there. And that finishes up this. So I dead-ended this cut in the sill. I have to run that through that sill, otherwise you'll see a crack right through there. So I'll grind that tomorrow, grind these spaces. Matt's doing some broom. Looking good. We did a double cut off of this. Hopefully it cracks off of one of those corners. We know it wants to, so we just, hopefully it'll go straight. It will. Right, Matt? Okay, last truck of the day, mixing up for this area right here. Okay, so we got all of our cuts in, and this was the longest conversation I've ever had on cut layout. It's just an odd shape coming around here, and there's a lot of pressure pinching against the house, hillside pushing. So this is going to need to move, and we need to allow it to move. So we needed to do lots of cuts in here. So these run parallel with the house, and we have 3 of them because of that offset up there.
That's all you need, right? Yeah, I'm good.
So I added 2 more cuts on our angle. Now, if this needs to twist a little bit, the only thing I don't like is how long and skinny this is, right from where Tommy's rubbing to here. We're about 13 feet, and we're about 9 feet at the longest. So we have lots of reinforcement. I would have liked to have had that cut over a little bit, but the offset up there dictated that. So again, running parallel with the house, it looks the best. All of this can freeze and move a little bit if it needs to. And then we cut this in half. We just brought this on a slight angle. If we brought it straight over, now we have a little tiny skinny wedge, guaranteed that'll crack. Okay, that's why I did what I did. The wind's really picking up. Guess what? Rain due tonight. That's brooming real nice. Staying straight with the joints. Alright, I'll get this set up and start edging. Home stretch for today. Okay, now that Steven is all done brooming, making the transition from the driveway to the turnaround with the broom marks, we just go around the perimeter with our edgers and shine up our edge marks as well as our tool joints. We call that the joiner on the stick, just reaching in and shining everything up. Makes it real nice appearance wise, as well as it consolidates that edge, and I feel it makes it a little more durable. So now that the concrete's all done and set up a little bit, you can see I'm walking on the turnaround in my socks, applying the sealer. We use SRT from ChemMaster. I feel we get very good protection, and I can apply it the same day. So this is my sealer of choice for brand new concrete, SRT from ChemMaster. And as I work my way off of the turnaround, that concrete was poured about 4 hours ago. Now I will come around the edge and I can reach in and spray everything that we just poured now. So come on back and see us tomorrow as we finish up this project. Thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. Have a good day.